it's nostalgic for me because it's back to the hip hop. It's
Absolutely.
back to the messaging of what you want to say, how you illustrating this love story or this struggle, or you being in a dark place and getting to the light. Those kind of messages is what I feel that we need in this culture, in our music, because a lot of times, man, we don't know how to express ourselves.
For sure.
And I feel like, especially black males, I feel, or minority male men, we are able to express ourselves through what we hear. Cause we'll be in the car like, yo, man, that's so me. You know,
Mhm.
we won't
Mhm.
even tell nobody we going through the struggle or what we
Right.
going through, but we're hearing in the music. Be like, yo, I think my man wrote that song for
For
me,
me,
man.
like,
Yo.
this one got
And
me
that's what
through.
you do for people.
Oh, thank you.
How did you realize that this is what I want to do with my music? It's not only going to be amazing music, but it's going to be purposeful.
Mm. Um, I just know what effect music had on me as a kid,
Okay.
right? Um, like I grew up in a strict household. Mom and dad, both
Church,
ministers.
you are not using no
So,
foul language
oh
in here.
no,
Oh,
oh no.
no, no,
So,
no.
my uncle, when Mom's was out on tour, and my uncle, who's only 6 years older than me, when I was 6 years old, he put me up on, with so much drama in the LBC, it's kind of hard being Snoop D-O double,
Double
right?
G.
But we had to sneak and listen to
Yeah.
it, right? So
You had to put on the gospel and put Snoop behind it, right?
come on, man, 2 pairs of headphones,
Hell yeah.
but no, but so music had a purpose. It always had a purpose,
Mhm.
you know. Even in listening to the Snoop and Corrupt, when I did get to high school and they couldn't really monitor what I was listening to, that's when I started catching a bus everywhere throughout LA,
Okay.
and the music started to explain what I would see, right? So LA is basically set up on a grid, right?
Correct.
So when you're going, almost all the streets either run north and south or east and west. It's
Period.
not diagonal. The only diagonal street is San Vicente. You know what I'm saying? So
Absolutely.
even the freeway. So in doing so, when you live in LA and you're driving through LA, you're driving through hoods. Like, okay, now we in the Hoovers. We keep heading east. Now we in the Brams. Or you know what I'm saying? So when I was listening to Snoop and Corrupt and all that, it was teaching me about gang culture and the mentality of the people that I'm going to school with and all that.
Right.
When I was a kid, it was giving me a strong spiritual foundation to where I knew that I had a purpose, I'm loved, all these things. When it was Outkast, it was showing me like, okay, I don't have to choose between my spiritual side, my intellectual side, and my hood side.
You can
So
all come
that
together.
balance, exactly, that balance for me was like, okay, that's where I found my identity. I was the straight A student in Chuck Taylors and a hoodie. I was, you know what I'm saying? I was, 1,400 on the SAT,
Right.
but going to the boxing gym and putting
And
tips,
putting pop, 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 pop.
hands on them.
Brap.
You know what I'm saying? Putting a pause on them. Like, and so, but it was the music that told me that that's acceptable. Big Boy and Outkast, like, and it's dope. What I always say when I'm talking about them is that we have Andre 3000 because we have Big Boy.
Yeah.
Right? If we look at J. Cole, if we look at Kendrick Lamar, they have elements of both.
Absolutely.
Right? They dark and light, but Big Boy took on I'm street, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Intentionally so that Andre can go straight poetry.
Yeah,
for us,
man.
You know what I'm saying? Big Boy, he'll hit you with my name Big Boy, Daddy Fat Sacks, a nigga that like them Cadillacs. I stay down with the streets because the streets is where my folks at. Better know that. Some say we pro-black, but we professional. I missed a lot of church, so the music is our confessional. Get off the testicles and the nut sacks. You bust rhymes, we bust gas. Like, he straight down that pipe.
Hard line,
And then
bro.
after
Forgot
that,
about one.
Andre come in. My mind walks to me and meet the twin Andre being welcome to the Lion's Den. Original sin, many men comprehend. I extend myself so you go out and tell her. He can be that artistic because,
it's
you
that
have
balance.
that
It's that yin
contrast.
and the yang of it. And here's the beauty of, since you brought up Outkast, right? I'm on MTV at this time, and I'm literally introducing Outkast to the world.
Dope.
And we had never seen anything like Outkast at that time. And there was a moment in music where the South was just producing all these different artists, right? And I just remember going, wow, how are they doing this like hip hop, pop, rocket, little pop thing with this southern swag to everybody? Because you got to think about songs like yeah, hush that push, everybody go to the back of the bus. Like nobody had ever made no music like this before.
No.
But the eclectic, the music, back to what you're saying, under it, the composition of the music, the cadence, like you said earlier, you were saying the drums and all the stuff. That's what I love about our music. There's no ceilings. It's about creativity. And so when I start listening to your music, I got excited. And just when you walked into the studio, I was just like, man, we need you in this game. We need artists that are smart, that have a real strong music bloodline. And that now it gives you so many things to just sprinkle on your music.
Absolutely.
It makes a beautiful pie.
Absolutely. Man, I want to make music that is necessary. You know what I'm saying? It's enough unnecessary ass music.
Right.
You know, my former rapping partner, rest in peace, his name was Chiz. And so when I got into rap, I more so was focused on producing and writing hooks. And he was the rapper, and we was a rap duo.
Right.
And so but he had a song where he was like, man, I think niggas should hate more. Like I think niggas should just be like, that shit whack, bro. You know, I think haters should go harder. Like, nigga, why are we
hate
not
harder, cuz?
Hey, nigga, blood, let's do it. Like,
right.
So it's but you know, because I think people have a inner gauge of what's dope or not.
Yeah.
You know, but then when the world kind of leans toward whatever's popular, you don't want to miss out. Like the FOMO age, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to miss this trend. I don't want it to go by me. Then I feel lost in social circles. Then you start accepting stuff that's just trash. You know what I'm saying? So, but you know, I think everything has its place. Everything has its place, and you know, when our taste develops, right? But then again, you know, it's that balance of being like, all right, what is this doing? You can't eat fries and ketchup 3 times a day, 7 days a week, because you're gonna have a tummy ache.
Yeah.
You feel me? So
it's not gonna feed you.
No, not at all. So,
but this is an interesting thing that when I was listening to you, that I wanted to bring it to your point, is that quality, right? And sometimes it takes longer to do quality.
For sure.
You know what I mean? And you know, sometimes people go on a trend, like you said earlier, and that you pop real fast, and then you know, and then you're not 2 summers from now, nobody's talking about you.
Right.
But if I look at guys like Kendrick, I look at guys like J. Cole, who are authentic artists, who are in their own lane to me, where they didn't switch up on you.
Right.
They just stay true to who they are.
Absolutely.
And then people come to you. I feel like that's what you are. Like, you are authentically D-Smoke. You bring it from the heart. It comes across in your music in a real way. Like, you touching people through your music. I don't think you have to do anything but do you.
For sure.
Because if a guy like me, who's a fan of music, could get you in the first 2 bars and like know what this is, and it's like going to a club and every song they play is your song.
Smack.
That's what I feel when I listen to your music. Like, oh, I'm good, bro. I could take my shoes off and I can listen to this whole and trust the whole album.